Good morning, YouTube. Yesterday was my wife and I's 13-year anniversary.
Well, this calls for a celebration. I will.
So I took Meg out to a nice dinner at a great restaurant called Eddie V's. Amazing food. Highly recommend it. So I had asked them to have valet reserve a spot up front because I don't want valet driving around my car. We pull up, park in valet. They actually wanted the keys and wanted to move my car a little bit, and I was like, whatever, fine. So they kept my keys, which usually I never let that happen. I usually never give away my keys. I did for some reason, I don't know, I just felt like, okay, they're only moving it like 6 feet, no problem. We have our dinner, wrap it up, come out, and as we come back up to the car, they say, oh, Mr. Hurlburt, your car's been in an incident, or your car's had an incident, someone backed into it. Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
Yeah, that's always exciting and wonderful news to hear that your car's been in an incident, because there's never been good incidents like, hey, your car won you the lottery incident. No, it's been damaged or vandalized or something incident. So again, in this incident, it got backed into. Now, this is a weird situation because, like I said, I usually don't give away my keys. And in that case, when you retain the keys, it's not really valet's responsibility to oversee the car. But because I relinquished the keys to my car, they're 100% liable for my car. They have to watch over it, they have to protect it. Anything that happens to it is their responsibility. So valet's on the hook, and then also, of course, the lady who backed into my car, she's on the hook. They're both responsible for this. Let me show you what happened, and you can see it's not like it's a huge deal, but there's some problems to the situation. So take a look at this. So as you can see, this is why I think it's so important to have a Blackview dash camera. I've tried lots of cameras, lots of dash cameras. Blackview is the only one I trust, and this is why you need to have one that has a parking mode, because this happened about an hour after we'd parked the car. Notice the camera was still running an hour later. It still had a long charge on it. With the Blackview dash camera, there's no way they can deny any responsibility. It's 100% proof that they're gonna pay for any damages. If you wanna get a Blackview, I'm a huge supporter of them. Go check out Blackview's website. I have a link in the description below, or you go to bit.ly/BlackviewNGS. I have a discount code that automatically will get you set up on Blackview's website. I think it's 10% off. You can buy one of their cameras. If you do, buy the 900S with the battery backup. It's the best way to do it. It's worth it. So especially if you have a nice car and you're worried about stuff like this. I was trying to find if there's damage and how much, and here's where it gets complicated. There's some black marks on the car. There they are. Some black marks on the car, so it definitely scratched it. The problem is, I don't know if there's damage underneath the PPF. This is one of those situations where if I let it go and we don't pull off the PPF and check the paint, we won't know, and then a couple years from now we pull off the PPF, and then next thing you know, the paint's cracked, or maybe the bumper's cracked or something. Normally, PPFs are so helpful for rock chips and stuff like that, but in an incident like this, the PPF is actually kind of a problem, because we can't tell what's wrong with the car, if anything, until we remove the PPF. Well, in order to remove the PPF, they're not exactly reusable, it's disposable, so that means we have to get a new PPF, which means they're paying for a new PPF. At best case scenario, they're gonna be paying me for a new front bumper PPF. So we don't have to remove the rest of the PPF, just the bumper. So we won't know if there's any other damage till we pull off the PPF, and then if there's any cracks in the paint or anything like that, obviously they're gonna have to pay for that. Like if this was my wife's car or the Corvette or even the Jag, I probably wouldn't do anything, but because it's the Ferrari, I have to take care of it. Like, this is too expensive an asset to not get fixed, to just leave when someone else damages it. Like, I feel like a jerk having to go to them and say, you're gonna pay for this, but they hit my car, I wasn't responsible for it, so they're gonna have to pay for a new PPF at a minimum, possibly paint if there's paint damage, and then worst case scenario, if it cracked the bumper in any way, they'll have to pay for a new bumper. But I don't think it did that. They hit it hard enough that it jarred the car. It triggered the Blackview camera. So You know, these things have a G sensor, and when they get hit like that, it calls it an event. So in the logs, in the video files, there's like regular mode, there's parking mode, and then there's events. So I could scroll through and immediately see, you know, there's all these parking file, parking file, parking file. Oh, there's an event file in the middle of all my parking files. I go double click that file, and lo and behold, there's my car getting hit by this Jaguar. Again, go get a Blackview dash camera. In this one incident, it will pay for itself. All it takes is one incident like that, and the camera's paid for itself, because there is no way in hell that they can deny any responsibility. So go get a Blackview camera, bit.ly/Blackview NGS. NGS is capitalized, so make sure it's capital. It is case sensitive. So this is kind of one of those things that sucks. It's one of those moments where you're like, what can you do? So I wasn't angry or pissed off. I tried to take it as a matter of fact, and the valet people were extremely, extremely apologetic, as you would hope. Thankfully, got the lady's information. There was even a witness, so they took down the witness information. They got phone numbers and everything. So of all the things that could happen from a bad situation, I felt like they did the best they could, and they're trying to take care of me and make things right. Again, it sucks, but at least I think we're gonna be okay. My biggest concern is if there's paint damage or bumper damage, I need to make sure that they don't ever get the VIN of my car. I cannot have a Carfax show that there was damage to this car, because it will devalue the car by about $20,000 to $50,000. And that's not even a joke. As soon as any Ferrari has a Carfax record showing damage, kills the value of the car. So we're gonna see. This one's gonna play out over the next week or so. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna take it over to Authentic Details. Brad's gonna get me set up with a quote. He's gonna get it scheduled to get a new PPF put on. So we're gonna get the front of the car taken care of. Pain in the butt. That's all I got for today, so appreciate it for you guys that are subscribing, like, share my videos. Don't forget, if you want to support my channel, you can go to bit.ly/NGS support. I really do appreciate those of you that have supported me. It's tremendously helpful. So we're gonna be doing a lot of DIY projects. Stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.